What happened? I mean, I was just standing outside and now I'm here and what happened? Well, thank you for being here. Nice of you to stop by. Yeah, let's do the intro. Hi, my name is Roger, and in this video I'm gonna go behind the scenes on how I did my last video, the movie effects video. But first of all, thank you for clicking into this video. If you haven't already, I would really appreciate if you hit the subscribe button down below, and if you already done that, click that bell notification too. Then you will get a notification every time I come out with a new video. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that too. But before we go any further, if you haven't watched my last video, the movie effects video, please pause this video, go back to that video and watch it, and then come back. We will wait for you. Okay, so first of all, I gotta say, I did not come up with this by myself. These effects have been done before by many people, so I just did some research, tried to replicate what other people has already done, so I can't take credit for any of the effects that I did on the last video, but I can show you how I recreated those movie effects that other people have done, so that maybe you can do the same one day if you want to try it out. Now, the secret to all these effects, it's in the editing process, so you have to have some knowledge or experience in editing in order to do this. So without further ado, let's jump into Final Cut Pro so I can show you how I did it. So let's start off with the Nightcrawler effect. First of all, you have to place your camera on a tripod or on any kind of surface that will make your camera stand still. If you move your camera too much, it will be difficult to make this effect look as smooth as it can be. First of all, I just started off with filming the mailboxes by themselves. Then I walked into the frame, tried to find a nice place to stand, and then jumping up in the air and acting like I appeared out of nowhere. The next part all comes down to the editing process. First, you use the footage of your scene without you in it. Then you cut that footage at one point, then just find the spot where you jump in the air or whatever you decide to do on how you want to appear. As I did, I just cut it right there. Then I deleted the footage where I walked into the frame. So now what we have left is the footage of the mailboxes by themselves and then me just poof appearing in the image. Then what I did was adding some smoke and sound effects. This smoke, I don't know what it's called, but you can download that smoke for free many places online. When you download that effect, you will get a smoke with a black background. So what you do is you place that smoke on your timeline and then you just add a luma keyer to that smoke. This will make all the black disappear in that footage and you're left with the white smoke. You can change the speed of the smoke, you can change where you want to place the smoke inside of the footage. Just match the smoke up with where you want to appear and it will look okay. And then we have to add some sound effects and there you have it, appearing out of nowhere. And the same goes to if you want to disappear, you just film yourself doing some kind of movement, then you just walk out of frame, film the scene where you disappeared for some seconds, you go in, you cut it where you want to disappear, and then you have your scene, you disappear out of nowhere. What I also did, I added some bad TV effects around myself when I disappeared, and it looks like this. And when I was happy with the results, I made all of this into a compound clip, and then I added the handheld effect to everything. So it now looks like everything is handheld by someone. This just makes the footage look a little bit more alive. So that's the Nightcrawler effect. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. I will try and explain a little bit more. But yeah, quick tutorial on how I did the Nightcrawler effect. And now we have the jump into the screen effect. This is also a really easy effect to do, you just have to plan it out. You have to be in a location where you want to jump into. Place your camera on a tripod and just film that location by itself, just like we did with the Nightcrawler effect. Film the scene without anything in it. Then what you do is you go into the frame, you try and line yourself up just in front of the camera, and you act like you jumped into the scene. Then what you do is you import that footage to your computer. You place your computer on something in some kind of space where you want your footage to start, and you place your camera in front of your computer, and then you just film that computer with that footage and stand in front of it like I did right there. Then you do the same acting one more time. You place yourself in front of the lens, and then you just do the same movement like you did before. You just stop before you crash into your computer. Then you take the footage on where you jumped into the scene originally, and then you play that to your camera. And here it comes down to the editing process again. Now what you do is you want to find the place where you did the movement in front of the computer, where you jumped into the PC, right about there. Cut it. Delete the footage that's afterwards. Then you take the footage on where you jumped in on the original place, cut that, and then you just put them together, and then you have this effect. You might put in some speed ramps to make this look better, add some sound effects, but down to the base core, this all comes down to cutting and placing scenes together and make it look smooth. So that was a quick tutorial on how you film the jumping into the scene effect. And now we have the appear out of nowhere effect. Again, here you place your camera on a tripod, film yourself on the location where you want to be in, and then act it out like I did here. I threw something on the ground, and then I acted like she disappeared out of nowhere. The next thing you have to do is film the person that is going to appear out of nowhere, and then she or he have to do some acting too. So now what you do is you place the first footage of yourself throwing the thing, and then you place the footage of her appearing on top of that footage. So now it looks like this, poof, and now here she is. But now we have to merge these two pictures together. And the way we do this is we add a mask. I added a shape mask and I just placed that around her. This makes it so that the footage of her gets on top of the footage of you, but the footage of you also appears. What we now have is me throwing the ball and she appearing. Then you add smoke to the footage. This will make it look a little bit better. Then you add sound effects. Since I'm thinking about what I want to appear, I added a thinking bubble with some footage of her inside of it. And then here you have the whole thing. Me throwing the ball with the smoke and her appearing. So it just comes down to how you use your editing tools, shape masks, and adding some smoke effects and sound effects, and then cutting the footage together. And now we have the drag into the frame effect. This effect is the one that takes the most amount of time. This is because you have to keyframe every movement of your hand, and this takes quite a while. What you do is, first you start off with filming the person coming to you, stretching out their hand, you stretching out your hand, and then they just drag you backwards and just show off something. Then you have to film something in a different location of you holding a green paper of some sort. This is because you have to use the green screen effect afterwards. Then what you do is you put the footage of you holding that green paper up on top of the first footage of the person walking to you. Then you have to put the keyer on top of that footage of you holding the green paper. This makes it so that the person walking to you appears inside of the green paper. Now you have to add a draw mask onto the green screen footage. And now you have to keyframe the hand that is going to be dragged into the footage on every frame. And this makes it so it looks like she's putting her hand out through the frame and dragging my hand into the frame. And to get that dragging into the frame effect, you have to add a zoom in effect onto the green paper footage in order for it to look like she's dragging you into the frame. And when you have zoomed all the way into the green paper, you now can cut the green paper footage and just play the original footage all the way to the end. Now what I also did, I copied the green paper footage just to get a better effect out of this, or a better contrast out of these two footages. I added a black and white effect onto the green paper footage. And then I added a draw mask around my other hand just to get that color back into that hand. So both hands have colors to it, but it's just the background that's black and white. And you can add some blurriness, you can add stuff to it to make it look even better, but I think this looked quite okay for the time that I had with it. Now I know this was a quick tutorial. I didn't go into everything I did because I added some speed ramps, I added some blurriness, I added some small different kind of stuff, but this is the basic thing on how to make these effects work. And if you have some knowledge about editing, how you use the masks or how you use the keyer or the green screen effect, there's a lot of YouTube videos out there explaining these tools on how you use them. So just do some research and I'm sure you will make this work for yourself too. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. Or if you just want to say hi, please do that too. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. Join our little community in the comment section down below. And yeah, maybe I will see you in another video. Bye.